Ongoing debates and misconceptions about psychopathic personality disorder. What the fuck are we all talking about?
Number 1.
Are antisocial personality disorder, or ASPD, and psychopathic personality disorder, or PPD, the same thing?
ASPD and PPD are different measures of the same underlying construct.
ASPD and PPD are two distinct psychological constructs.
Although empirically different proportions of people will be diagnosed with each of these disorders, they are intended to be different forms of assessing the same underlying construct.
Number 2.
Is PPD categorical or dimensional?
PPD is a taxon or category that people are either in or not.
PPD is dimensional, where people have more or less of it.
Although most of the measures of PPD use a dimensional scale, the underlying construct is comprised of a single category.
Number 3.
Is PPD a homogeneous or heterogeneous disorder?
PPD is a homogeneous disorder where all people with PPD are essentially the same.
PPD is a heterogeneous disorder comprised of a number of subtypes, including primary and secondary psychopaths.
Although a number of unique combinations of symptoms can lead to a diagnosis of PPD, there is a lack of evidence for unique subtypes of PPD.
Number 4.
Are antisocial conduct and violence necessary features of PPD?
Antisocial conduct is a hallmark symptom of PPD. That is, all people with PPD are necessarily antisocial and violent.
PPD is a psychological disorder comprised of affective and interpersonal deficits, which may or may not lead individuals to commit crime or violence.
Antisocial conduct and violence are not necessary features of the disorder, yet there is a moderate relationship between PPD and antisocial conduct.
Number 5.
Are psychopaths born or made?
Psychopaths are born that way, meaning PPD is caused by a specific genotype.
Psychopaths are made as a result of environmental factors, including a number of individual, family, and societal risk factors.
A number of genetic, biological, individual, family, and societal factors are related to the development of PPD, but much more research is needed to identify specific causal trajectories.
Number 6.
Does PPD exist in children?
PPD can be identified in young children and adolescents, and PPD will persist throughout life in these people.
PPD can only be diagnosed in adults, but the underlying features may be present much earlier in life.
A number of specific features or symptoms of PPD may be identifiable in young people, but the disorder cannot be diagnosed until adulthood.
Number 7.
Can PPD be assessed with self-report measures?
Self-report measures are a reliable and valid manner of assessing PPD.
As deception and manipulation are hallmark symptoms of PPD, it cannot be assessed with self-report measures.
Although some of the features and symptoms of PPD can be identified with self-report measures, they cannot diagnose the disorder. Only a trained professional can diagnose a mental health disorder.
Number 8.
Is PPD treatable?
Treatment will make people with PPD worse or do nothing at all.
Treatment can be beneficial to people with PPD.
There is no good evidence that PPD can be treated, but there is also no good evidence that it cannot be treated.
Created using Powtoon.